Use a line integral to find the total mass of a spring in the shape of this circular helix, where the mass of the spring is a varying mass represented by this mass density function. So let's look at a concept drawing representing this spring, and let's consider t is equal to 0 and t is equal to 2 pi to see where the spring stops and starts. At t is equal to 0, we see that we begin here, and at t is equal to 2 pi, we get our terminal point 1 over rad 2, 0, and 2 pi. So we're looking at this section of the spring, and we also know that it has a varying density function, which means that the density of one section is different than the density of another section, and we need to add up all of these densities to get the total mass of the spring. So we think of a little tiny chunk as being a small change in the arc length, and then we can use a line integral over this curve where we're adding up the mass density of that small chunk multiplied by the length of that chunk, which gives us the total mass of this small piece, and then we add up infinitely many of them. And so this is a line integral, which is what we're going to use to find the total mass. So in order to evaluate this line integral, we're going to substitute in for all of these quantities, and we're going to have everything in terms of t, the parameter. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to find our x parametric equation in terms of t, the y parametric equation in terms of t, and the z parametric equation in terms of t. Now these values come straight from the vector function that is used to trace out that curve. So let's expand this a little bit. Go ahead and distribute in that 1 over rad 2. We'll see that our x parametric equation is going to be cos t over rad 2. Our y parametric equation is going to be sine t over rad 2, and our z parametric equation is going to be just t over rad 2. So we bring those equations down here, and when we're building our integrand, those are going to be plugged in for the x, y, and z of the varying mass density function. But we're also going to need to plug in for ds, and that's going to be the arc length formula, which involves x prime, y prime, and z prime. So we also need those quantities. X prime is minus sine t over rad 2, y prime is cos t over rad 2, and z prime is just going to be 1 over rad 2. So now we're ready to build our line integral. Everything is going to be in terms of t, and our limits on t were from 0 to 2 pi. Now from the beginning we saw that our varying mass density function was 1 plus z, so this is where we plug our parametric equations into this mass density function. The only variable we actually have is z, so we're going to plug in t over rad 2 for that z quantity. So now our mass density function depends on t. We then multiply by the arc length formula, which is the square root of x prime t quantity squared, so that's negative sine t over rad 2 squared, plus y prime t quantity squared, so that's cos t over rad 2 squared, plus z prime t quantity squared, which will be 1 over rad 2 squared. So let's simplify this radicand. So we see we have 1 plus 1 in the numerator here, which gives us 2 in the numerator. Over 2 is 1, so this entire radicand is equal to 1. So we're left with 1 plus t over rad 2's evaluated with respect to t. The antiderivative is going to be t plus that constant multiple times t squared over 2. And when we evaluate from 0 to 2 pi, we get 2 pi plus 2 pi squared over rad 2, which can also be written as 2 pi plus rad 2 pi squared, which is the total mass of our spring.